Under a red flag situation after 12 of 200 laps at the IZOD IndyCar World Championship presented by Sunoco. And you see the 77 of Dan Weldon's car, what is left of it. Other cars of the 15 involved, as they are all on the hook, being taken back into the garage area. One of the guys involved in the crash, Wade Cunningham. Jamie Little, you've caught up with him?
Yes, we're back here at the medical center, and there's a lot of long faces. And Wade, you're the first one that wanted to talk. From your perspective, what did you see?
It's just things happen in this kind of racing. It's so close, not much room for error. And I was near the front of what caused all this. So I'm not thrilled about it. But it's not like, at this point, whoever's fault it was is kind of immaterial. There's a couple of people hurt in there, and that's the main thing. So, you know, just going to keep my fingers crossed for everyone that was in the accident, and hopefully no serious injuries.
And you're okay?
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Okay, and we do want to report that J.R. Hildebrand walked out. He did not want to talk, and once they brought Dan Weldon into the medical center, J.R. went back in there, and a lot of drivers hanging out just to hear the outcome here. Let's go over to Rick DeBrule with Roger Penske.
Yeah, standing by with Roger. You know, and the championship seems almost so inconsequential as a result of what you've seen out here, but at least two of your cars are still in, and it looks like Will's okay.
Yeah, Will's okay is the main thing. It's unfortunate that, you know, early on in the race they got to be racing so close, and we have that kind of, but it's, I guess they call it a big one. You always worry about those on these mile-and-a-halfs at the speed with as many cars, but fortunately, as far as I know, the drivers are okay. That's the most important thing. You know, we can go on to next year. Will had a great year, but it's just so unfortunate to have him knocked out with 3 crazy accidents, but it's what it is, and Briscoe's up there, Elio's up there, see if we can't finish the day.
Looking at championships, and I realize it's hard to just start talking about championships, but, you know, do you look back at this year and think, okay, what could we do differently next year? So I mean, obviously not this accident, but those other incidents.
Well, I think it's just you got to play heads up in the pits. You know, we had a couple accidents in the pits with Will. I mean, he's obviously executing on the racetrack, and this is something that you're going to have happen in racing. It could be anyone. You saw it last night, you know, in NASCAR with Johnson. I mean, these are unfortunate. I think the drivers, you know this is an option that can happen, and you just hope it's not you. And to me, what we need to do is move forward here, and we got a great team, and these guys have worked hard all year, great sponsor with Verizon, and our team IZOD has done a great job with the series. So what we have to do is just stay forward here and just hope everybody's okay.
All right, once again, Roger Penske, 2 cars still in the race, but the championship battle for Penske is over.
And there is Will Power's car. And we're going to go on board with Will and give you another perspective of exactly what happened in this 15-car melee.
And Eddie, as we know, when you're driving along at these speeds, you're going the length of a football field in less than a second. So if something happens in front of you, you can never have enough reaction time.
It's impossible. You have no time to do anything. What happens maybe is just a small miscommunication between 2 drivers. Somebody spins and you have 20 cars that arrive on the scene at 220 miles an hour. It's physically impossible to do anything, and things like that tend to multiply themselves.
Well, Vince Welch is caught up with Alex Lloyd. Vince?
Alex, we just saw the replay. Where were you and all of that?
It looks like the first kind of group got together. I kind of checked up, and then looking at that, Will's on board. Looked like Will then went, didn't get it checked up, obviously, and went into the back of me and over the top of me. But yeah, it was just chaos. I mean, it just all of a sudden the whole track just gets littered. I mean, just cars everywhere, and as I said, the guys from behind. I mean, it's just mass chaos out there. Unfortunately, it's something I think a lot of us maybe thought might happen. I mean, we've practiced with no more than 5 or 6 cars in a group, and now we've got 34. There was going to be some trouble. I mean, my biggest thoughts right now are just with Dan, Susie, and their family, and just hope everything goes okay from their end.
Good to see you're okay. That's Alex Lloyd. Marty?
And you've heard the references to Dan, and we have not had any word on his condition. As soon as we get word, we, of course, will pass it on. But you can see the concern of everyone as there is Alex's car. Paul Tracy, we saw him out of the car. Jamie, you've caught up with him?
Yes, and he has a long history of racing, even racing at this track. Where were you in the middle of that?
I mean, I saw 2 cars touch each other up in front of me, and then I tried to slow down and couldn't slow down. And then, you know, Dan's car, from what I saw from the video, came over my back wheel and over top of me, and it's just a horrendous accident. And you know, a lot of prayers right now for Dan, because it's going to be a long recovery.
What have you guys as drivers back here in the medical center been told about his condition as of now?
We haven't really been told anything. They're scrambling in there right now. There's 20 doctors in there, and we basically been shuffled out. But there's a lot of frustration from the drivers. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of young drivers that don't even know how to react. So it's a bad situation.
Thank you for your time. Paul Tracy is okay, Marty.
One of the great things about the IndyCar series, they travel a set of doctors and medical officials that are specialists in a number of areas, and they are at every race. That's the group of doctors that you heard Paul Tracy refer to that are working on Dan Wheldon and the others. And as we get more information, we'll pass it along. Stay with us.